Hey guys, welcome back to Glam Finds, and I'm here with another list. So this is my top 10 for summer when it comes to Middle Eastern fragrances. I already had this set up, but a bunch of you guys have been asking me to do it. I do this every year, every season. It's one of my lists because I think for the most part you guys really want Middle Eastern fragrances because, I mean, I get it. They're super affordable and typically a little bit more potent. These are not all ones that I've had for a while. Some of them are newer, but I'll talk about each one a little bit, not too much. I think most of them have been reviewed, maybe other than 3, but one should be reviewed pretty soon. And it looks like Rocky is now joining us. Say hi, buddy. There we go. He's ready because he wants to know all the summer fragrances he needs to wear this year. So we're going to talk about these, and I'm going to keep the ones that I haven't talked about for last, maybe go over them just a little bit. As I told you in my last video, I'm going to be wearing a pair of Indie sunglasses. This pair is from the House of Kirk Elliott. I'm going to link them down below. He keeps playing with the wires, so you're going to see a little bit of movement maybe. But I'll link these down below. This is the black on black color. I really like them. I have another pair coming from him, and I have another pair that I own from him that maybe I'll put in another video. But without further ado, let's get this video started. So the first one I want to talk about first, let me reference this. A lot of these are going to be clones or hybrids. Hybrids is going to be more of a Lattafa thing because Lattafa really likes smashing 2 DNAs that are really popular together and coming up with something that's really good. But this one is just maybe an inspired by, from Paris Corner, the Amir collection, Vibrant Vetiver Delight. So this one I reviewed recently. It's a clone of Baldi Afrique, and it is really good. Oh, there you go, Rocky. This is one that I really just can't get enough of. It's got freshness, it's got sweetness, it's got like this candy-like sweetness, it's got vetiver, but the vetiver, even someone who doesn't like vetiver is going to like because it's not earthy or anything like that. It's just really refreshing. And I feel like something with this type of sweetness on a hot day isn't going to get cloying. This is one of those ones that's just like a guilty pleasure for me. Whenever I'm running errands or anything, I have a hard time not reaching for it. And I honestly like the presentation. So I actually feel like I like the presentation on this more than I like the presentation of actual Byredo bottles. Yeah, they did really well with this. This is amazing. It's just a really nice fragrance. I will go ahead and link this. Actually, I'll link all of them down below wherever I can find them. If you haven't tried anything from Paris Corner, I would give them a shot. So far, so good for me. Next. So this one is the reason that I sold, and you guys are going to freak out when I say this, but this is the reason that I sold my Amber Oud Gold. I know, it's rough, but from the House of Versace, it's La Yucawam Jasmine Wisp. So I'm going to say this. Amber Oud Gold is so strong, but it was really too strong for me. I like a nice sillage. Sometimes things project a little bit too much, and I will say this. I had my, so I went last weekend, I was out and about throughout the day. A friend of mine wore this one, and I wore something else, and this lasted and projected all day with 2 sprays. I was honestly really impressed, but the reason I like this better is because it has that nice, really fruity DNA, but it also has a light kind of air of jasmine to it. And a little bit of coconut. The coconut isn't as apparent, but I kind of feel like this is a classier one, and I like how smooth it is in comparison to Amber Oud Gold, which there's nothing wrong with Amber Oud Gold, but it's really hard for me to pick that one over this one. I just feel like this one has a little bit more elegance. You can dress it up a little easier. Even the presentation is a little bit nicer to me. I really like it, as you can tell. If you haven't tried it, I would recommend it. Again, these are a little bit more expensive for a Middle Eastern house, but to me, this is definitely worth it, and you're gonna get something that's a lot more potent than pretty much any designer and a lot of niche out there. Next. All right, so this next one, it's just an obvious choice from the House of Armaf. My favorite from the Club de Nuit line, it's Club de Nuit Milestone. I'll say this, I try not to do backup bottles of anything, but I realized that I was pretty low on this bottle, so my new one is on the way. It smells okay from the nozzle, it smells good. But in the air, this is just a nice kind of salty melon delight, and it is really, really good. There's kind of maybe like a muskiness to it when you wear it, and it kind of makes it a little bit sexy. I don't know. I like that. It's more of a daytime fragrance, obviously, Definitely catch my video on Club de Nuit Milestone from Armaf, but I just can't get enough of it. It's like one of those ones that I wear a lot. I try to test fragrances a lot, right? But I like to wear my old fragrances, and this is one of those bottles that when it gets hot, I love reaching for because it's that good. Next. Okay, so this one's just, it is what it is. I'm not going to talk too much about it. From the House of Rasasi again, Rasasi Hawas. I'm gonna make this really easy. Whenever I go out with a bunch of my friends and I let them, because like my friends, maybe they're not as into fragrance as I am, but they do not usually mind like doing like a smell and ray or just smelling. I just took the top off and this is so potent. I spray a bunch of strips and I let like whatever friends I'm going out with pick my fragrance before I go out. If Hawas is ever in the mix, it always wins. It's that nice fruitiness, the muskiness. It's got like a little bit of an aquatic vibe. It apparently resembles what could be a hybrid of Invictus and Invictus Aqua 2016. I haven't smelled 2016, so I can't really go off of that, but this is nice. It's not too bubblegummy, but it's definitely bubblegummy. But no matter what happens, I get so many compliments on this. In case you want to ask, this is a December 2020 batch. It's recent. I had an older batch, but I finished it already. But this is insanely good. And I think you can find it for $40 now. I'm going to link it the cheapest price below, but the price that you can get it for now is such a steal because again, this is pretty much, I would say maybe my most potent juice. That, I mean, La Yuquam Jasmine Wisp is definitely up there too, but it's really good, especially for the summer. If you don't own this, honestly, blind buy worthy in my book. Next. All right, so this next one is, again, from Rasasi. I didn't do this on purpose, but from the House of Versace, it's Rasasi Kasamat Rasana. Which, by the way, is my favorite from the line. It's got that Aventus-like DNA, or what's compared to Aventus, but basically it's citrusy. It's got a cypriol oil, so not birch, but cypriol oil. It's got a juicy apple, and that is what I love about this. And when I've done smell and rates with this and Aventus and all the inspirations, including Hasavat, like anything that comes close to that DNA or gets compared to it, this always wins. And I think because a lot of people like that sweetness that this one has and kind of that juiciness that the apple has, it is so complimented in my collection, and it's just really good, super easy to wear, very versatile. I do reach for this one a lot more. Like a lot of these fragrances, actually, I would say I reach for a lot more than you would anticipate me reaching for any of my fragrances because I own so many, but it is just that good. Watch my video if you haven't. Next. All right, so this next one is another obvious choice from the House of Lattafa. It's Lattafa Ajwad. For me, this is pretty much just a nice ambroxan bomb. Super easy to reach for. It does have sweetness. It's never been cloying on me. A lot of people will tell you that they can't smell it or it disappears on them. It's because of the amount of ambroxan in this. So I would say spray this, take it easy. A lot of Middle Eastern fragrances, depending on where they come from, sometimes when you get them, I would keep them a couple weeks up to a month, let them kind of relax a little bit, and then spray them because things get weird sometimes when you get them fresh. But high heat banger always does good for me. And I've actually been called yummy in this before because that's how good it smells. I was told multiple times by different people that I smell yummy wearing Lattafa Ajwad. This is the regular. Intensive silver you can definitely still wear, but during summer I would say I'm gonna reach for the OG a little bit more. It's just really good. I'm telling you, it's just like this big old dose of ambroxan and woods, and it's so nice and it's so easy to wear. And what I like about it is it transitions just fine from day to night. It's definitely a year-round fragrance, but sometimes when I'm trying to wear something a little bit more just easy for summer because I don't want anything too cloying and I don't want to think too hard, Ajwad is kind of my go-to. Next. Okay, so this one I talked about recently, and the caveat on this one is that this is more for, in my opinion, summer nights. From Lattafa, again, it's going to be Lattafa Rayed or Rayed Silver, depending on where you look. So this one kind of smells like they kind of did a spicy take on Cedar Boise. They say that it's a clone of Pure XS, but I don't have that one, so I can't compare it. But I smell kind of like a sweeter version of Cedar Boise with that saffron and spicy notes. So for me, summer nights, this is just an easy reach. Come on. It is so good, and it's kind of got that, what feels like a pineapple-y blast up top. And it's really nice. Like, I'm telling you, bang for the buck on this one is really through the roof. If you haven't tried it, this is literally $20 at Joma Shop. I will link it down below. I'm gonna get the blue one eventually. I just haven't made any Joma Shop orders recently, so I haven't picked it up, but bang for the buck is so insane. Check it out. Next. This next one I've owned for at least 2 years and I haven't reviewed yet, but one day I will. And it's another clone, of course, and from the house of Al Haramain, it's Al Haramain La Venture Femme. I will tell you this, I do have an actual sample of Aventus for her, and I would say it's really close. And performance on this is good. I mean, you're gonna get about a full work day's worth. I don't feel like it's a huge projector. Sillage is nice. Projection is more moderate. It is really, really nice though. It's sweet, not too sweet. It seems to get a lot of attention. I will tell you this, when I got it, I was like, it's not bad. I feel the same about Aventus for her. And Aventus for all the Aventus is, again, like Kasamat Rasana, because it's different. I like that one probably the most in anything in that line. But this gets compliments, which is really interesting, because I'm like, sometimes there are fragrances that I'm like, but people love them. Yeah, this is one of them. And actually, this is one that when I have friends come over, they choose this a lot to wear, because, you know, they want to, why not wear my fragrances? I've got more than enough to go around. In fact, sometimes I tell them, don't spray anything. Come see if you want to spray anything from here. Try something new. And this is kind of a lot of people's go-to, which is super interesting. Super easy to pull on a hot day. I would say it is unisex as well. A guy could definitely pull this off easily. I mean, you could pull off anything. Your skin chemistry is literally everything, but in my opinion, it's pretty unisex. And I think I got it for 30 bucks. So again, not really much thinking involved when it's that cheap. Next. I just recounted. I have 3 more, which makes this 11. But let me do this anyways. From the house of Lattafa, it's going to be Lattafa Confidential Private Gold. So initially when I smelled this, I was like, wow, this smells like Herba Pura. And I reached out to my friend Jasmine, and she said it's a Kirky dupe from Tiziana Terenzi. And I'm just like, obviously Kirky and Herba Pura have a lot of similarities, but the bottle should have given it away. Oh my goodness. But it's really nice, super fruity, maybe a little bit of floral, not too much though. Way more on the fruitiness, some muskiness. It is really good. This is really good. I am surprised that I didn't know about it sooner, because I like this more than Amber Oud Gold as well, because it doesn't project as much. I wore it to work several times. Good sillage, but no one has ever said anything. And I'm trying to wear stuff that's a little bit softer to work because it's work. But I like that about this. I don't really love my fragrances to scream. Unfortunately, sometimes you don't know until you're nose blind to them and everybody else isn't. If you haven't tried this, this was $15 on Joma Shop. I will link it down below if they still have it. Next. Okay, so this one I haven't gotten that much wear of. I haven't gotten that much wear from yet because I was waiting. I wanted to wear it on vacation, but I haven't gone yet. From the house of Swiss Arabian, it's Swiss Arabian Wild Spirit. Literally, I get just a straight up tropical vibe when I smell this. Tropical, fruity, some floral. It is so nice. I feel like I get a good tuberose note out of here. I absolutely love it. You guys already know how I feel about tuberose, and tuberose with tropical notes. That is absolutely my jam, and I really love the presentation on this. And for $40, this presentation and this scent, It's really nice. I don't think that, this is another one that I just feel like, why even think about it? Just get it. But also know that it is very like tropical, fruity, floral. So if you're not into tuberose, I would say skip it. But I love it. It is so good, so summery, such a like a kind of a lunch on the beach as the sun sets kind of scent. I love that about this. Next. All right, guys, real quick. I walked out of this room and realized that this fragrance wasn't here in this stack, so I had to come back and add it because it has to be part of this list. It's Lattafa Fakhar Homme. The reason this has to be on this list is because I actually really like it. I've owned it for probably a year now. It is very similar to YSL YEDP. However, this is something I wear in high heat when I can't wear YEDP. So it had to be on the list. It's really that good. It is a compliment getter as well. It's not as strong as YEDP. That's also another reason I can wear this in the summer, where YEDP I'll still wear maybe summer nights. This during the day in summer is just fine. This has more of a little bit of a bubblegummy sweetness. I told you guys before, I think Lattafa does a lot of like hybrids. They see two good DNAs and they smash them together. This kind of has an Invictus-y version of YSL YEDP. So I would say it leans towards YEDP, but it's also got that kind of playfulness that Invictus has. And I think it's really good, and it's a really good dumb reach for the summer. High heat, compliment getting. Just had to add it real quick. Next. This next one is a dumb reach fragrance, but I am going to be wearing it more this summer. Shout out to Tammy Loves Fragrances on Instagram for gifting me this from the House of Armaf. It's Armaf Tag Him Homme. So this is a clone of Bleu de Chanel. And to me, this is a clone of the EDT because it's nice, light, fresh. I love it. It's got kind of everything you're looking for. Is it perfect? No. I don't have enough experience to tell you about the projection and sillage and stuff, but a video on this is coming soon. Scent alone, though, is so good. To me. I don't own Bleu de Chanel. I feel like that one is a hard thing for me to reach for because I love the blue fragrances that I own a lot. But in terms of having a light version of that to wear in the summer, I think this is what I would be pulling for. I have gone back and forth about getting Bleu de Chanel Parfum. I do like it, but I love YSL YEDP a lot. So for me to reach for a lot of things over that is hard. I'm even starting to reach for it more than Dylan Blue, and Dylan Blue was like what started this whole thing for me. So anyways, this is something you can get maybe for like $20–$30 depending on where you look. I will link it wherever I can find it down below. Seriously, if you just want to travel and you want to throw a fragrance just straight into your bag and take that with you and not have to worry about it, this is actually one of Armaf's less bad bottles. So I would say such an easy reach. Day, night, anytime, spring, summer. You can wear it year round, but I think with how light it is, maybe spring and summer are going to be kind of your better options. I don't want this list to run too long, and it already has. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like this video if you liked it, be subscribed to my channel, hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop a new video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.